You think if a younger woman is attracted to you, she'll make it obvious, easy, and impossible to misread. But real attraction is rarely loud at first. It's subtle, watchful, and far more revealing than most men are trained to notice. A lot of older men miss it because they're looking for fireworks when what they're actually getting is focus, attention, softness, curiosity, little openings that mean more than big performances ever could. And before you go any further, subscribe if you need truth like this on a regular basis, because if you don't keep hearing the truth, you will let insecurity distort everything. You'll either imagine interest that isn't there, or you'll miss genuine interest because it didn't arrive wrapped in fantasy. Here's what it really means when a younger woman is attracted to an older man. It usually does not look like reckless pursuit. It does not always look like instant intensity. It does not look like her throwing herself at you just because there's an age gap and some chemistry. What it often looks like is this: she becomes more aware around you, more attentive, more responsive, more playful, but also more careful. She wants to feel your stability before she reveals the full weight of her interest. Why? Because when attraction is real, people don't just move toward what they want, they also measure whether it is safe, solid, and worth trusting. That is where many men get it wrong. They assume if she likes you, she'll be bold in the exact way your fantasy wants her to be bold. Constant messages, obvious flirting, exaggerated praise, immediate availability. But attraction is not always loud. Sometimes it becomes quieter, sharper, more deliberate. She lingers. She finds reasons to continue the conversation. She asks questions that go beyond surface level. She watches how you handle pressure, silence, and attention. She notices whether you become ridiculous the second she shows interest. That's the first misconception. The second is worse. A lot of older men think their age alone is the attraction. No, your age is not the power. Your relationship to your age is the power. If you carry your years like apology, if you act shocked that a younger woman could be interested, if you become overeager because you think this is some rare miracle you have to secure immediately, you destroy the very thing that may have drawn her in. Because the hard truth is simple: what attracts her is rarely older by itself. It is composure, direction, emotional steadiness, a man who is not fighting himself, a man whose attention feels grounded, not thirsty, a man who knows how to be warm without becoming juvenile, direct without becoming creepy, confident without becoming theatrical. That is what she responds to. And when she is attracted, her behavior often changes in ways insecure men completely misread. She may tease you more, not to disrespect you, to see how you hold yourself. She may ask for your opinion on things she could easily figure out herself. Not because she's helpless, because she's inviting a dynamic. She may become more visually present around you, more intentional with eye contact, more tuned in to your reactions. She may remember small things you said. She may circle back later. She may create reasons for more time, more conversation, more proximity. She may seem confident one moment and strangely guarded the next. Why? Because attraction mixed with respect often creates tension. She wants to move closer, but she also wants to know whether you are actually the man your presence suggests. That's called assessment, and you should be doing the same, because this is where weak men lose themselves. They interpret a younger woman's attention like a starving man interprets bread. Emotionally, desperately, without standards. They get flattered by the age gap itself. They get intoxicated by the validation. They stop observing. They stop thinking. They stop asking what is true and start asking how fast they can turn attraction into possession. That is where self-respect dies. Understand this carefully. If a younger woman is truly attracted to you, she is often not just reacting to your face, your money, your experience, or your age. She is reacting to what those things represent in your behavior. Safety without softness, strength without noise, experience without bitterness, calm without passivity, presence without pressure. That combination is rare. But the second you start acting like a man who cannot believe his luck, you collapse the frame. You stop being grounded and start being grateful in the worst way. Overly available, overly impressed, overly eager to prove you still have it. That's not attractive. That's panic, and panic always leaks. She can feel when you're interested. Good, that's normal. But she can also feel when your interest is carrying too much hunger, too much relief, too much private desperation. When you're not just enjoying the connection, but using it to repair your ego, using it to prove you're still desirable, using it to medicate loneliness, using her attention to settle something unresolved in you. That is too much weight to put on any woman, younger or older. So, why does this happen? Why do so many men mishandle this dynamic the second it becomes real? Because they confuse attraction with rescue. A younger woman shows interest, and suddenly an older man who felt invisible last month starts feeling alive again, desired again, relevant again, powerful again. And instead of holding that moment with maturity, he starts worshiping it. He starts making the interaction mean too much too early. He starts performing youthfulness instead of embodying grounded masculinity. He talks too much, tries too hard, becomes too available, starts fishing for reassurance, starts chasing the emotional high instead of reading the actual situation. That's called emotional greed. And emotional greed ruins clarity because now you're no longer seeing her. You're seeing what she does for your self image. You're no longer asking whether her interest is consistent, whether her character is strong, whether the connection is healthy. You're just thrilled to be wanted. And a man who is thrilled too quickly becomes easy to lead, easy to confuse, and easy to disrespect. That is the cost. Not just losing her interest, losing your center. You start ignoring red flags because your ego is